দর্শক শুভেচ্ছা সবাইকে স্বাগত আজকের চলতে অনুষ্ঠানে আপনাদের সঙ্গে থাকছে মাহফুজ মিশা। আজকে আমার অতিথি আমাদের বন্ধু রাষ্ট্র জাপানের রাষ্ট্রদূত নাওকি অ্যাম্বাসেডর নাওকি, মোস্ট ওয়েলকাম টু আওয়ার শো চলতে।
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm so pleased. Yes, I'm all fine. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Ambassador would like to talk on different aspects of Bangladesh-Japan relationship as well as other international issues. The first issue should be Japan is our very trusted friend from the very beginning of our independence. So you are almost 3 years here in Dhaka as an ambassador. So what's your evaluation? Where our relation stands right now?
Japan recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign nation on the February 10th, 1972. But since then, no doubt, we have been time-tested friends. So having served as ambassador here almost for 3 years, I'm so grateful to this country. I'm so grateful to these people. So people are so friendly, very warm to Japan, and people still appreciate what Japan do for the development of the country. But think about the history of our cooperation, collaboration. So Bangabandhu visited Japan in October 1973. That clearly laid a foundation for the subsequent cooperation, excellent one, between Japan and Bangladesh. And then I think the rest just followed. And particularly this history of cooperation of bridge building. You know, Bangabandhu, when he went to Japan, he asked the cooperation of Jamuna Bridge. In 1996, when Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina went to Japan, he asked the cooperation of Rupsha Bridge, as well as Padma Bridge. And Japan did this feasibility study of Padma Bridge and determined the location of Padma Bridge. So although Padma Bridge was constructed with the own financing of Bangladesh, we are so proud that Japan was part of it. Japan played a very important role at the initial stage of Padma Bridge. So bridge construction is a part of the very great history of our cooperation and collaboration, yes.
What are the challenges we are really facing regarding our friendship?
I think
there are some challenges.
Important thing is trying to elevate our partnership. Now we have an excellent comprehensive partnership between the two countries, which was established between the two prime ministers, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and then Prime Minister, the late Abe Shinzo. They exchanged a visit in the same year. So 2014 was clearly epoch-making year. So we really need to elevate this comprehensive partnership to a new height. So in order to do that, we should not be complacent about the relationship. Although I'm very much optimistic about the future of our partnership, relationship, friendship, but still we really need to continue to make conscious effort, constant effort, so that our excellent relationship is going further. So also we really need to start new areas of cooperation, be it cyber area, even defense area, even free trade agreement. So these are the efforts which are particularly very much necessary for us. Also, I said that we are doing excellent cooperation, infrastructure development. Japan has been one of the most prominent development partners for this country. At the moment, Japan is the largest bilateral donor for the development of Bangladesh. We should continue this, and at the same time, from now on, I think as Bangladesh graduates from LDC, it's very important for us to build more private-to-private partnership. Trade and investment will play even more important role for our partnership. So I think we really need to work out how we can expand our trade and investment. That's also another challenge. Although there will be this Arai Hajal special economic zone, which is coming in December, Narayanganj, named Bangladesh Special Economic Zone. So no doubt that increasing number of Japanese companies will be there and manufacture using this wonderful facility infrastructure developed by Japanese company Sumitomo. But still, we need a better investment climate, better incentives to attract more Japanese companies to come here, because FDIs are very important for the development of this country, technological development, also employment and innovation. So I'm sure that the Japanese companies can play a very critical role to further promote economic development in this country.
How many Japanese big companies are now working in Bangladesh, and how many people are involved with their activities?
So altogether, the 300 Japanese companies are operational in Bangladesh. The number is increasing, particularly over the last 10 years. The number tripled. Also, if you look at the Japanese nationals living in Bangladesh, now it is around 1,100. That's the highest. So I think our community is expanding, the number of Japanese companies growing. So I have a very optimistic view about the future of partnership, but still we really need to make a conscious effort so that not only quantitatively but qualitatively we really need to promote our partnership. So, but again, trade, investment, these are key areas for us to go, because we really need to mutually beneficial partnership, win-win relations between Japan and Bangladesh. So over the last 50 years, maybe it was Japan's responsibility to play as the prominent development partner. But from now on, we have to build a more sort of win-win partnership on an equal footing between Japan and Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is now on the right trajectory of economic development. You are graduating from LDC. Look at these twin celebrations which took place March last year of Bangabandhu's birth centenary, as well as 50 years of independence. So you invited 5 leaders in the region. Clearly, this successful event demonstrated that Bangladesh's stature in the region was heightened. So it's very important. Bangladesh will continue to be stable and developing nation and power in the region. We are ready to support Bangladesh's role in the region.
Several times you have said about the construction of Padma Bridge, and it's a huge achievement, you said, and Japan was the part of it from the very beginning. Even during this tenure, when Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina second time comes in power, JICA was one of the investors in this bridge, but along with World Bank, they withdraw the financing. What's your revelation regarding this? How was the decision?
It was very unfortunate that JICA couldn't continue to be part of the consortium to finance this project. But that is a very difficult decision the Japanese government, the JICA, had to make during the course of the preparatory stage of Padma Bridge. But what I want to commend is this wonderful decision made by Honorable Prime Minister. So she decided to construct this bridge with its own financing, and she did it. So I was so pleased to attend this opening ceremony at the Mawa, the 26th of June. Also, I crossed the bridge and also went the other side of the bridge. And people are so excited about this.
What are the priority areas of our relationship?
So first, we need to promote trade and investment. That is no doubt about that. And also, I think an important thing is to enhance mutual understanding between the people, particularly among younger generations. Yes, those generation, the people who are very much active, every corner of society know about Japan and appreciate Japan's contribution and our partnership. But we need more understanding of younger generations. We know that young people love Japanese food, anime songs, and so forth. So there are good ground for younger people to enjoy Japan, understand more Japanese culture, society, and learn Japanese language as well. So we really need to encourage those younger generation to gain more, better and deeper understanding on Japan. So if they have opportunities to come to Japan to make a trip or even to have study opportunities in Japan, so those opportunities will help them to understand, and I hope that increasing number of younger generation, Bangladesh will play a bridging role between Japan and Bangladesh.
Excellency, you know, we are passing a crucial time due to Russia and Ukraine, where almost all the countries in the world are suffering from energy, food, and other crises.
Yes, yes.
And Bangladesh also suffering from energy and power.
Yes.
You are our big partner in this sector also. So, how can you stand beside Bangladesh during the crisis period? That's my question. As well as you are building some mega project here in Bangladesh.
Yes.
What are the updates of this project? There are some common idea that which projects is made by Japan, this will take more time, this will cost more money than other countries, other neighboring countries. So I want to hear the explanation from you but before that I have to take a break. দর্শক ছোট্ট একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, আমরা কথা বলছি জাপানের রাষ্ট্রদূত ইতো নাওকির সঙ্গে, ফিরছি একটু পরে, আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই। দর্শক বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার, আমরা কথা বলছি জাপানের রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে, অ্যাম্বাসেডর ইতো নাওকি। মাই কোশ্চেন ওয়াজ about the present energy situation in the world, and Bangladesh is suffering, and you are one of the largest partner in this sector also, especially in power sector. So where Bangladesh stand now regarding energy crisis, what's your evaluation and how you can stand beside Bangladesh?
You know, as you said that now the world is in energy crisis, economic crisis. This is not only true in Bangladesh. This is a global phenomena. Even in Japan, energy crisis there, we are about to face inflationary pressure on the economy. So it is all the more important to coordinate the policies in the world. So international coordination is very much required. But I really want to point out here that although this economic crisis is very severe, so it's very, say, imperative to get out of this crisis as soon as possible. But it depends on this situation in Ukraine. So Russia started this aggression, which was a blatant violation of international law, which was a challenge to the rule-based international order. So we should bear in mind this. So we really need to keep a strong stance vis-à-vis Russia, despite the difficulties economy at home on a global basis. So I'm sure that Bangladesh understands the importance of this part. So how this crisis started and who initiated this. So on the same vein, so we should not allow the unilateral change of status quo by force, which is exactly what happened in Ukraine. So even in the other parts of the world, we should not condone this unilateral change of the status quo by force. Important thing is all the countries will abide by international law. All the countries, particularly in this region, because both of us are in the same region, respect this rules-based international order. I think that is the point I want to emphasize in relation to your question. But your question also related to the cooperation
between Bangladesh
and Japan in energy sector. So Japan has been doing cooperation in energy sector, including this Matabari coal-fired power stations construction. Now JICA is engaged with the master plan with Ministry of Energy, Natural Resources and Power. That is to come up with this energy mix in 2050. So how Bangladesh might be able to shift from the current crisis, and also with adopting more low-carbon economy, renewable energy. That's a big challenge for the country. But in light of the economic needs, as well as in consideration to the impact of climate change, I think this is Bangladesh needs to go through. So Japan is really willing to help Bangladesh adapt itself to the needs of the times. And Japanese projects will be coming. So even these private companies' initiatives for LNG power stations, so they are waiting to be given the green signal from the government. At the moment, because of this LNG situation, the scarcity of supply, as well as the prices, so they may have to wait a little bit. But Japanese companies are ready to do that. And once it's given a go sign, so this is a great tradition of the project by Japanese companies. So they abide by timeline. So even this ODA project, sometimes they complete within a budget which was initially allocated. And if you look at the life cycle cost of the project, I'm sure that the Japanese company's project, JICA's projects, are the best in the world.
Then my question is, almost all at the same time, the Paira coal-fired power plant initiated was associated by China, as well as Matarbari was associated by Japan. Paira is in production from last 1 year, but Matarbari is not yet production yet, and the cost is much larger in Matarbari coal-fired power plant. Why this happened?
You know, there is a big difference between Paira project and Matarbari project. So Paira, this power station project is just power station project. So, but this Matarbari project is a power station and deep sea port combined. And deep sea port was necessary in order to build coal-fired power plants on the Matarbari Island. So because of this bigger scale of the project, it was inevitable that cost would increase compared to other coal-fired power plant projects. But now I think Matarbari deep sea port construction is also ongoing in parallel to power station. This is going to be the first deep sea port for the nation. The draft will be 18 meters deep. So once this is done, this will have enormous economic impact. So in terms of connectivity, in terms of the function as energy hub and industrial hub. So Matarbari will clearly a game changer. So this project is the first stage of this continuous process of very big project for the development of the country. So that is why cost-wise it's different. But in the long run, I'm sure that the people in Bangladesh will appreciate the fact that Japan, JICA, started this deep sea port project with a power station. And maybe say 10 years from now, 15 years from now, so Matarbari will be going to be very, very different, and the people will appreciate the impact of Matarbari.
Then my
project.
question is, when the Matarbari power plant would be in commercially operation, and when the Matarbari port might be start? What's the timeline right now?
So it's very difficult to predict the exact year, but I would say 15 years from now, the Matarbari port will be operational in a full-fledged manner. Then the capacity of container handling, the Matarbari port will be on par with that of Chittagong Airport. So you are going to have another big port in Matarbari. So then you are going to have two big ports in the southern part of the country. One is a very traditional and well-maintained. Now they are going to expand the function a bit. But this Matarbari is a very new one, so I'm sure that it's going to adopt new technology in terms of customs clearance, container handling, and so forth. Also, Matarbari Moheshkale Island will be the basis of energy hub. Even so, it could have another special economic zone or heavy industry-oriented economic zone can be created there. So I think the success of Matarbari will be a great answer to this big B, Bay of Bengal Industrial Growth Belt initiative between the two governments, between Dhaka, Chittagong, and Cox's Bazar. So I'm really, really looking forward to the smooth development of this project in close cooperation with the government of Bangladesh.
What about power plant?
Power plant will be there. So the Unit 1, Unit 3 coal-fired power plant will be there, and start its operation during the year of 2024. And after that, how many power stations will be there? Most of them will be LNG-based power plants. Some could be even this solar power or wind energy. So that is in the planning stage. So we don't know how many and how large the project is going to be. But Japan and Japanese companies are really keen to participate in those power station projects as well.
Excellency, you have said that you are now also engaged with a power sector master plan, and this is the first time Bangladesh is going to make the power and energy sector master plan. This is the first time, and the earlier was also made by JICA. So, how do you evaluate the power and energy policy here in Bangladesh, as it was also negotiated with your country?
I think this is a very important initiative by Honorable Minister Hamid to combine energy and the power sector master plan together. So with this initiative, so Bangladesh government will be in a position to make objective assessment of energy demand, and also how the power sources can play, the respective power sources can play. So in a very combined manner. So also the data collection capability of the government and relevant body will be enhanced through the exercise of this master plan. I think this combined master plan will have a good advantage. But important thing is what sort of energy mix Bangladesh is going to come up with in 2050 or predicting 2050. So whether Bangladesh can achieve net zero in 2050, or the Bangladesh net zero can be achievable only in 2070. So these are the elements now experts are discussing. But I'm sure that once it's done by the end of the year, it's going to be a very, very important guideline for the Bangladesh's addressing a climate change issue, as well as the future power energy needs of the country, which is essential for the sustainable development of Bangladesh.
Okay, Excellency, I have much more question to you, but before that I have to take a break again. দর্শক আবারও ছোট্ট একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, আমরা কথা বলবো জাপানের রাষ্ট্রদূত ইতো নাওকির সঙ্গে। বিরতির পরে ফিরছি, আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই। দর্শক বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার, আমরা কথা বলছি ঢাকায় জাপানের রাষ্ট্রদূত ইতো নাওকির সঙ্গে, অ্যাম্বাসেডর ইতো নাওকি। My question is about, Bangladesh is facing some economic challenges, and there are some forecasts that dollar crisis, forex reserve that is decreasing. And what's your evaluation? Is Bangladesh is going to be in danger area?
I have a confidence in the macroeconomic management of the authorities here. So sound fiscal management is there. And also, if you look at the debt sustainability of the nation, it's in the level of manageable level. So my hope and expectation are that the government of Bangladesh and the Bangladesh Bank will continue this sort of sound fiscal management and good macroeconomic policy. But the current crisis is a very acute crisis. So hopefully it's going to be a very short-term crisis, but you never know. So I really commend that what Bangladesh government has been doing. They are taking very, very cautious approach regarding this current account, trade account. Also, they are really coping with well with this energy crisis. So it's not really an easy period of time. But I'm sure that Bangladesh will show a wonderful resilience and getting out of this crisis, as Bangladesh has shown to make a great recovery from corona pandemic. Yes.
Okay, so that's an inspiration, I think. So Ambassador, my question is about the political relation between two countries, and that political relation basically decides the diplomatic relations. So where our political relation right now? Sometimes you have said that we have to take our relation into a strategic stage.
So this year we are marking 50 years anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Bangladesh. We did a great celebration in February with the participation of Honorable Foreign Minister Dr. Momen, and the Japanese Prime Minister sent a message of felicitation to that. And subsequently, Dr. Momen, Foreign Minister, visited Japan, and he had excellent bilateral consultations meeting with his counterpart, Foreign Minister Hayashi Yoshimasa. And only last week, the Honda Taro, the Parliamentary Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, visited here. The first visit in 3 years at the political level, together with JICA President, Dr. Tanaka Akihiko. So I'm sure that the rest of this milestone year, 2022, there will be a more political visit, the exchange of political visit. And my hope is that Honorable Prime Minister will be able to visit Japan later in the year. Then we can truly elevate our comprehensive partnership to a next height. Then we can make the year 2022 another epoch-making year for Japan-Bangladesh partnership.
Yeah, you know the political situation here in Bangladesh, and election is 1 year and some 2 or 3 months later, and there are some political activities here. What's your observation regarding upcoming election? Your partners, even your deputy, met CEC with a group, with the Western ambassadors basically. So what's your observation right now?
Yeah, I think this election is a very, very important election for the country's democratic development. Although I was not here in 2018, but there are some irregularities, violence, and election rigging, and so forth. And I know that there are some examples of ballot box stuffing by law enforcement officers, which are not good, simply speaking. So I do hope that next elections will be better elections, free and fair elections. And I recognize that the government is working towards that objective. They enacted for the first time this law to select the members and chief of the election commission. And also the chief election commission is working really hard to have dialogue with representatives of political parties. And even the CEC listens to the voices from diplomatic community. So I guess, and I think that the elections next time will be better elections, so that people's voices will be reflected. People will be able to exert their right to vote. So to contribute to the democratic development of this nation. So we need Bangladesh to be very stable and democratic, and that will be very important for the stability of the region, development of the region. Bangladesh development, inclusive and sustainable and democratic, will have a very strategic importance for the stability of this region and prosperity of this region. Japan very much hopes for that.
Yeah, but one major political party, BNP, is not attended with the CEC's meeting, and they said they will not take part in the election under this government. So don't you think that's a big crisis?
I know there is an expectation on this participatory election, inclusive election, but whether any political party participates in the election or not, that is entirely up to the individual election party. That's their judgment call. So I don't think I should make any comment on this.
And you said the importance of Bangladesh in this region is very crucial, as well as I said strategic. So you have some initiatives like Indo-Pacific strategy, like Quad, as well as we have some other development partner like China. They have some initiative, Belt and Road Initiative, and all of them want Bangladesh in their regional initiatives. So why Bangladesh should join with you?
I don't really think that Japan has Bangladesh to join this grouping.
Yeah.
So, but we think Bangladesh is a partner when Japan and other like-minded countries promote this realization of free and open Indo-Pacific. That's a vision. That's a vision for peace, stability, prosperity of the region. And I know that Bangladesh understands the importance of this vision of free, open Indo-Pacific. So recently, say, Foreign Minister, State Minister, Foreign Affairs talk more positively about this vision of free and open Indo-Pacific. So Bangladesh shares the values, say fundamental values like democracy or even this market economy, rule-based international order, maritime safety and security. So these are very important elements we need to continue to share and enshrine to promote this peace and prosperity in the entire region of Indo-Pacific. Japan will continue to promote practical cooperation with Bangladesh, including this infrastructure and connectivity. We discussed the importance of mega project, but there will be opening of Dhaka Metro in December, also the extension of airport. There will be a soft opening of third terminal next year, and Matabali is in line with embodying the idea of Big B. So we'll continue to do this because this is a very important, indispensable part of free and open Indo-Pacific. Also, we need to expand our cooperation in embodying free and open Indo-Pacific, maritime safety, maritime security, human resources development of law enforcement agency, and so forth. So even this defense equipment, recently Japan relaxed regulations on exporting defense equipment overseas. So now we are looking at the possibility of selling the Japanese companies' product defense-related equipment to Bangladesh. Bangladesh is trying to diversify the sources of procurement in defense area. So I think there will be a, say, meeting of minds. So I'm really hopeful that we can even expand our cooperation in defense area as well, yes.
What about Quad?
Quad is a vehicle to promote free and open Indo-Pacific. So the vision will be, say, discussed among 4 countries, and necessary cooperation will be, I think, being implemented among those 4 countries, Japan, United States, Australia, and India. And you know, some of the areas are very important for 4 countries, and also the countries in the region. I'm sure that cooperation coming out of the coordination among 4 countries will be beneficial and advantageous to Bangladesh as well. The area like infrastructure, cooperation, even this, the technological development, health area, climate change. Those are common concern between 4 nations in Quad and Bangladesh and the other countries in the region. So we will continue this effort within this framework of Quad, but I'm sure that Bangladesh will be more, say, perceptive on the merit of consultations and cooperation coming out of Quad in the very near future.
Excellency, you know, we have a very good relation with China, especially in trade, investment, and mega project implementation here in Bangladesh. So how do you evaluate the Chinese role in our development as well as the relation between Beijing and Dhaka?
I hope that the Bangladesh will be able to achieve this vision 2041 to become developed nation in 10 years time from now. In order for Bangladesh to realize this goal or dream, so obviously Bangladesh need cooperation and good relation, various partners, trading partners, economic partners. So I'm sure that China is one of those countries which would continue to cooperate and help Bangladesh to prosper. So, and Japan will continue to play its part as the most prominent, largest development partner, and also the Japanese companies' trade investment should be coming more, and people-to-people exchange will also to play a key role. And even the Japan to have a young Bangladesh to work in Japan as specified sector workforce or even skilled trainees. That's also another area we really need to explore further, because 2 countries, 2 economies complementary each other. So down the line, important thing is Bangladesh will not lose sight of the importance of sustainable development. When you talk about big project, Bangladesh really need to look at the life cycle cost. So whether some, say, implementation plan or agreement will be serving the purpose of the development, whether the project is feasible or viable, or whether the projects are really meeting the demands of the people and the development of local economy and life cycle cost. So I'm really proud that the Japanese project and the Japanese companies work. So when you talk about life cycle cost, that's Japanese project is the best. So I'm really pleased to note that the Bangladesh is looking at the important aspect of life cycle cost. And still, when it comes to the initiation of a mega project, the government officials and even political level will look to JICA. And only when JICA won't be able to do, because JICA cannot do everything, then government will ask other countries to do mega project. I think this is perhaps the state of the play between the two countries. Okay, we should continue this.
Time is mostly over. My last question is, where do you want to see the Bangladesh-Japan relationship after next 50 years?
Next 50 years, I'm very optimistic. So we will continue to be time-tested friends and great friends among the nations. So that is even 50 years from now. So now Bangladesh is really developing, and our two countries are really complementary each other. And also this sense of affinity between the peoples of Bangladesh and Japan. Unless you come and stay here, you don't really appreciate how hospitable Bangladesh people are, how close Bangladesh people are to Japan. So I have been really privileged to be ambassador here. I'm so happy to be in Dhaka for the last 2 years and 10 months. Thank you very much for having me.
Best of luck for you.
Thank you. All the best.
দর্শক, দেখা হবে পরবর্তী পর্বে। আমরা কথা বলবো নতুন কোনো অতিথির সঙ্গে, নতুন বিষয় নিয়ে। সে পর্যন্ত ভালো থাকবেন সবাই। অনেক ধন্যবাদ সঙ্গে থাকার জন্য।